Unit 7. Speaking about art. Page 174. Focus on reading. Task 4.
The Picture. After the Broken Bridge by Philip Pullman. Ginny, the main character of the story, is 16. She's turning out to be a brilliant artist, like her mother, who died when she was a baby. In the extract, you're going to read Ginny sees her mother's picture in the art gallery. When Ginny was first becoming interested in art and the history of painting, Dad had given her a big book with hundreds of reproductions in it. She'd pored over it with a more than delight, with a kind of greed, in fact. She absorbed everything the book told her about the Renaissance and the Impressionists and the Cubists, about Botticelli and Monet and Picasso, and she breathed it all in like oxygen she hadn't known she was missing. And among the pictures in the book, there were two that made her gasp. One was Whistler's arrangement in gray and black, the portrait of his mother sitting on an upright chair, and the other was El Greco's view of Toledo. She remembered her reaction quite clearly, a sudden intake of breath caused by sheer surprise at the arrangement of shapes and colors. It was a physical shock. And when she looked at the big painting that dominated the end wall, the same thing happened. It would have affected her the same way whoever had painted it, because it was a masterpiece. What it showed was a middle-aged black man in a uniform with epaulets and medals, in the act of falling onto the red carpeted floor of a well-furnished room. He'd been eating a meal, and on the table beside him there was a plate of yellow soup. Beyond him, through the open door and at the open window, stood a crowd of people watching. White people and black, old and young, richly dressed and poverty-stricken. Some of them carried objects that helped you understand who they were. A wad of dollar bills for a banker, a clutch of guns for an arms dealer, a chicken for a peasant. And the impressions on their faces told Ginny that they'd all in some ways been victims or accomplices of the man who was dying. And all that was important, but just as important was the strange discord of the particular red on the carpet and the particular yellow of the soup, so that you knew it was something significant, and you guessed the soup had been poisoned. And the way the dying man was isolated by the acid red from every other shape in the picture, so that it looked as if he were sinking out of sight in a pool of blood. And mainly, what was important was the thing that was impossible to put into words: the arrangements of the shapes on the canvas. These same elements put together differently would have been an interesting picture, but put together like this, they made Ginny catch her breath. She began thinking of what her mother had wanted to say by the picture. Tell the story of the corrupt officer? Yes, but not mainly. What she had probably wanted to do was just to see what happened when she put that red and that yellow together. That was what could start it. Some little technical thing like that. And the shape of the man as he falls. Because there is no shadow, you can't see easily where he is in relation to the floor. He seems to be floating in space, almost. But at the same time, no one could say that the picture wasn't technically correct. It was amazing, brilliant. Ginny felt a lump in her throat.
Unit 7. Page 184. Focus on listening. Task 2.
Listen to a film critic.
And now it's time to go to Matthew Jenkins, our very own movie critic, for news of an exciting new movie. Matthew?
Thank you, Fiona. Yes, New Beginnings is a heartwarming tale set in the 18th century England. It follows the life of Jane Martins, a maid in a large country house who falls in love with the dashing Charles Denton, the son of a wealthy farmer. The story is gripping from beginning to end, as well as acted throughout by Helen Richards and Peter Kite. Thanks to the sensitive direction of Kevin Hadley, the whole film blends together well, leading to a very surprising but utterly believable finale. This film should bring Hadley the recognition he has deserved for such a long time. Without doubt, it's the must-see movie of the year. Great for all the family. 5 stars.
Unit 7, page 186. Focus on listening. Task 5.
Listen to someone talking about the paintings.
I'd certainly choose this one here with the landscape, with the sea in the background. I find that one particularly attractive. It's a very warm painting, I think. And I'd also take the portrait of the young girl, the darker one, which is a very peaceful painting, I think. I'm not so sure about the other portrait, with very bright colors. I would find that perhaps rather disturbing to have on a wall. The street scene, I don't know. It's interesting for a few moments, but perhaps not for a long time. The strange figure with the red heart, I think I'd like that one, but maybe not in a room, perhaps in a hall for looking at as I walked past it, maybe. And the abstract painting with the shapes, I don't think I'd have that one. No, I think I'd grow bored with that one rather quickly. The one I like best is the head and shoulders of the young woman. She's such a peaceful-looking person, I think. And although the colors are not very startling, they are very gentle, and I feel really that it's a very relaxing picture to look at.
Unit 7, page 186. Focus on listening. Task 5.
Listen to someone talking about the paintings.
I'd certainly choose this one here with the landscape, with the sea in the background. I find that one particularly attractive. It's a very warm painting, I think. And I'd also take the portrait of the young girl, the darker one, which is a very peaceful painting, I think. I'm not so sure about the other portrait, with very bright colors. I would find that perhaps rather disturbing to have on a wall. The street scene, I don't know. It's interesting for a few moments, but perhaps not for a long time. The strange figure with the red heart, I think I'd like that one, but maybe not in a room, perhaps in a hall for looking at as I walked past it, maybe. And the abstract painting with the shapes, I don't think I'd have that one. No, I think I'd grow bored with that one rather quickly. The one I like best is the head and shoulders of the young woman. She's such a peaceful-looking person, I think. And although the colors are not very startling, they are very gentle, and I feel really that it's a very relaxing picture to look at.
Unit 7, page 201. Check your English. Task 3.
Listen to the conversation.
Did you watch TV last night?
No, I went to the pictures.
What did you see?
A wonderful film, My Brilliant Career. It's an Australian film starring Judy Davis. The film is a screen version of a historical novel about life in turn-of-the-century Australia.
Were you familiar with the plot?
No, I never read the book.
Where is the film on?
At the Globe. We had to queue up for an hour and a half to get in, and they say people only want to watch television nowadays. Of course, there was a special attraction that night. Judy Davis was making a personal appearance.
What's she like?
She is charming, and in the film, the makeup and clever photography made her a real beauty. She is a very talented actress. The film had a good review in the press right from the start, and then, it won British Academy Awards for the Best Actress.
Did you notice the names of the producer and the director?
No, I didn't. But what's the difference?
Don't you know? I thought you were a movie fan. The producer makes all the business arrangements while the director is in charge of the actual making of the film.
Oh, it's only the stars I really notice. Actually, it was a pretty good cast.
Was it a continuous program?
No, it was not.
Where did you sit?
In the stalls, in the 16th row. My wife hates being too near the screen.
Was there only the feature film or documentary or anything as well?
There was a documentary about underwater swimming. It was quite interesting. Besides, there was a cartoon and the usual trailer for the next film.
You seem to have liked the film very much. Would you mind going to see it again with me?
Not at all. I'd be delighted.